She learned to be helpless. She learned that, I mean, that's clear as day what that says to me. She was uncomfortable and she didn't get up. She didn't tell the guy to fuck off. She didn't, I mean, that wouldn't have been helpful, but she didn't try to help herself. She ignored the situation. What is the connection between that and empowerment through choice? If you're empowered to choose for yourself at the age of 6, what flavor of Gatorade you want, that builds your muscle. If you're empowered at the age of 11 to pick out what Lego set you want, that builds your decision making, that builds your judgment, that builds your power and your ability to say, I can affect change in my life. If you decide at 13 to get one ear pierced, that is building that muscle. And when your ear gets infected because you didn't put on the ointment, you didn't follow through with your decision, you learn something, hopefully, not necessarily, but hopefully. So it's building that muscle, whether through failure or success, it's building that muscle. And then when you're 19 and you feel weird about some guy and you walk away and you call someone immediately, that's because you don't have learned helplessness. Unlike the woman on the train, you know you can do something about that situation, about any situation, literally any situation, right? Like really extreme things, you can choose a different perspective. You can choose to do something. You can world your oyster. Sometimes less of an oyster, more of something smaller. But that is the point. What empowerment, power, you have power. And that can only really happen for some people through self-directed education. Because self-directed means I am the one making the decisions for my life. I'm not just sitting back and allowing myself to be miserable, like that woman on the train. It's sad. Most of society, I think, especially modern Western society, has learned helplessness. And it's correlated to, well, first of all, Dr. Martin Seligman, I think he's a doctor. He must be a doctor. He's in the field of psychology. Yeah, he's a psychologist. Shoot, I can't believe I can't remember this off the top of my head. Martin Seligman, who wrote The Optimistic Child in 1995, and is basically the father of positive psychology. And he studied learned helplessness quite a bit. And I think he connects it. I have to fact check this, but I think he connects it, maybe not as a cause and effect necessarily, but like if you have clinical depression, the chances that you also self-test, like you take a little quiz and it says, yes, you have learned helplessness, the chances of that are very high. Clinical depression that lasts a long time is highly correlated with people with learned helplessness. Is this a surprise? I'm not saying it's your fault that you're sad, but there is always something we can do about it. And self-directed education helps with that. I mean, it's not therapy, and it's not supposed to be therapy, but it is something that it can be healing. I've experienced from it for myself that it's a healing thing. So that's the mission. Okay. What